Let's go!
Shine bright like a diamond. More than Rihanna's hit song, those lyrics are the soundtrack to Stephanie Battieste's life. As a mixed-race girl with 3 brothers, growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, she often found herself alone. In her solitude, she would stumble across a dusty and forgotten skateboard in her parents' garage. Unaware of the rarity and limits of conventional thinking, Stephanie taught herself to skateboard. Years later, with her success in the skateboarding world, it seemed only natural to share her passion. Babes Brigade was born, the first skateboarding school for girls. Now with females ranging from 3 to 50 years of age, Babes Brigade has become so much more than a skateboarding school. It is a place of overcoming fears, conquering goals, learning new tricks, while supporting women locally and soon worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Battieste.
Straight out of the T-Dot.
That's what it is.
Live from the 6 boroughs.
Don't go nowhere.
For sure. Welcome to Standing in the 6 with your hosts Michael and Constantine.
Well, good morning, everyone, on this wonderful, wonderful Monday morning. Man, I just got back from Jamaica.
No way, couldn't tell.
Really? Yeah. I'm a little browner today.
Yeah, you got some color.
Yeah.
Makeup department doing wonders, trying to hide it.
And what's actually also very exciting part of the story segue is there's been a voice that's being void in this studio.
A voice that echoes from yonder.
From yonder.
Over the hills.
Over the hills. Where's that voice? Where is he?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike and Constantine.
Oh
my goodness. That
chills. I literally got chills right now.
Yeah.
Chills.
Like, we were playing around, but that felt good.
Yeah,
I felt that one.
Yeah, it
you
did.
Know what I mean?
It felt official. It felt like we're a real podcast.
Oh, we're good.
Yes.
We're good.
All right, Jerry, it's good to have you back, man.
Yeah, it's been crazy. My day job's just been nuts, so it's been tough to get in on Mondays to shoot this thing.
Hey, listen, we understand disappointment and being second fiddle. Look,
That's fine,
we've
man.
dealt with it.
We
right?
have.
Yeah,
We have, exactly.
We understand. We can read between the lines. Well,
That's
look,
right.
we're glad that your beloved career has not called you.
Oh, no, I've got the week off, so I'm really happy about that. So.
Okay, nice.
Good.
And
You know
I'm
what?
happy to be back here
We
again.
should probably do 3 podcasts a day. just pack it. Get as much
Exactly.
as much
Exactly.
out of you.
So tell us about Jamaica.
Yes.
Forget about me.
I'll tell you this. I spoke to Mike very briefly. When I got off the plane, I was wearing the official Standing in the 6 shirt. Well, by the way, has been a huge success. It's been a huge success as we're the only ones wearing it. But
no one's ever done that. Stand up.
no?
During right. Look.
Yeah, there you go. Check that 6 out.
For those listening, I'm standing outside of frame.
But I'll tell you this: as soon as I got off the plane, I'm talking about all the Jamaican, not port authority, the airport, marshals and anyone that was out there, bags. They always looking at the shirt and they would say, "Yeah, 6 man, 6 man," like every single one of them. And I'm thinking, oh, that's cool. They're just reading my shirt. I didn't think nothing of it. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, they're just
Hey, Nike man.
they just love to read in
Yeah,
Jamaica,
exactly, yeah.
right?
So, anyways, as I'm walking through the airport and through Jamaica and all that, I keep on getting complimented on the shirt, and it happened all week. Now, I didn't wear the shirt all week, but people were talking about it because I only wore it twice a week. When I did find out why they're so infatuated with it,
Okay.
it was basically told there's a 6 movement happening in Jamaica right now, where a lot of songs talk about the 6, but it's not 6 Toronto. It's their own version of 6, and it's basically a group of individuals. Think of like a bunch of artists, and you want to join the 6 movement, and you'll be part of our clique as we sing reggae songs. And it's like, do you remember Eminem had the 12, the D12 was it called? Mm-hmm. Where they had a bunch of people
So
that
this
can
is
rap.
like their Wu-Tang?
It's like their Wu-Tang, okay? And anyone can come be part of it that's talented, of course. And there's a movement that's taking over Jamaica. So for us to wear this shirt, the number one thing that was like literally thrown out at us was, where do I get that shirt? And can I take a picture with you?
Are you kidding me?
Literally. So I felt like a little celebrity. And I was telling Mike, you don't expect that at 67 subscribers. You know what I mean? To have that much celebrity status going on. But it was a lot of fun, and and at the end of the day, I definitely, and Jerry, that was part of the little surprise.
They're taking pictures of him because of his T-shirt.
Yes.
So the T-shirt's a celebrity.
Well, the T-shirt's a celebrity because I mean I am nothing, but
We're all nothing at the moment.
But I'll tell you this: something magical happened while I was there, and you're hearing it live on Standing in the Six. We are coming to Jamaica.
Yes.
Okay? We are coming to Jamaica, and we're going to film a podcast down there, and we're going to be interviewing some pretty incredible Jamaican talent.
Yes.
Get ready for that, Jerry.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Get ready. Do you have your passport?
No.
Okay. Well, Mike and Constantine are going to Jamaica. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to where everything's kind of like heading in direction.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
really
man.
cool.
It's really cool.
So interesting.
Oh,
So-
and a couple of shout outs right now because I said I would do it. Shout out to Ainsworth from Pete Taylor Tours. He kind of transported us around down
yes. Ainsworth.
there. Yes,
Brother
yes.
Ainsworth.
And shout out to Kevin and Tanya. It was their wedding that I was at this past weekend, and lots of fun.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air.
Nice.
Love is in the air.
Now let me ask, you brought up Jerry. Did I hear it right? Did he say that he was walking through Jamaica? Is that safe to do?
Let me tell you something. Everywhere you hear is like, oh, don't go there, it's unsafe. Let me tell you something. The whole world's unsafe. It's unsafe. You could be in an office writing and a whole entire shelf falls on your head. The office is unsafe, right? Right? You know what I mean? You could be like microwave. The bottom line is everything's unsafe.
You could be microwaving a gremlin,
Yeah.
right? And it could just go wrong.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't buy that. Obviously, use common sense.
Okay.
But to me, at the end of the day,
Did you know that common sense isn't common?
I 100% believe that.
Absolutely.
100% believe that. But I felt very safe.
But that should be a good online university. Common Sense University.
Yes.
Can you imagine? That's actually a good idea.
Yes.
Or like
come in, Christina.
Jerry,
Come in.
maybe we can make some videos. Common Sense University.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
know?
I just spent this weekend driving around, and I swear to God that these people should just park their cars.
Right.
Yeah, driving is a good barometer on if people have
Oh,
sense or
yeah.
not. Yeah, I mean, like if there's a pedestrian crossing, they're elderly holding 3 grandchildren in their arms, maybe don't hit them. You know what I mean?
That would be a good,
Yeah.
smart move.
Some people in their Civics
Yes.
flying around the corner. So Jamaica, you
Yes.
enjoyed. You walked around.
I walked around.
You weren't afraid?
No.
People smiled?
100%. Everyone was very friendly. I mean, I did get asked about 11,000 times if I wanted some weed. But at the end of the day, it was very, very nice.
And you're like, look, I don't need it. I'm from Toronto.
That's right.
This is
That's
all
right.
It's legal. It's everywhere,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
It's in the grocery
It's
stores.
true. It's
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, safety, 100%. I mean, I actually went right into St. Anne Parish and got a haircut right in like the village.
Let's
like,
see.
I mean,
Is that the same cut right
that's
now?
the cut, man. And I was very impressed. That's a good
Ooh,
fade.
that's a Jamaican fade?
That's a
Let's
Jamaican
see.
fade, yeah. Yeah.
Look
What?
at you.
Yeah. So very
Yeah.
happy. The Jamaican fade cost $4 American. I didn't. I gave him a lot more than that, but that's what they charge for haircuts down there. So Canadian barbers, come on, let's let's kind of adjust the prices a bit. You know
Well,
what I
that's why I kind of laugh about, cutting my hair or your hair or whatever. It's like, oh, we want $35. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Like, I'm in
Yeah.
the chair for less than 10 minutes, and they want $35 or $50. And you're like, really?
Oh, man.
But look, it was very nice. It was very
Good
nice.
for you.
I'm very happy that I'm back safe and sound. As I was walking up here, I saw 2, I'm going to probably think 12 or 13-year-old girls, and they had little skateboards in their hands. And it's so fitting because today we're going to be interviewing Stephanie Battieste. Now, Mike, is that how the name should be pronounced? Because we're going to ask her.
I think so.
Okay, good. Okay. Who is Stephanie? Stephanie is CEO of Babes Brigade. She's an incredible skateboarder. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she's also an actor, and she's also an entrepreneur, of course, from that, and
Graphic
a model,
designer.
Graphic
Kind of anything in the arts.
absolutely.
Kind of like the perfect marriage of arts and business. She knows how to take art and translate it into commerce so that you have an opportunity to create art again.
Absolutely.
That cycle, the good, healthy cycle.
Yes.
And help other people find, I guess, a market for their art and skill set.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what she's been able to do is, with the love of skateboarding, is turn it into now almost like a school version where she teaches young girls how to skateboard.
It's like a movement.
It's a movement, absolutely. I mean, I've tried skateboarding and I've failed miserably. Miserably, okay? Jerry, I said, you said something to skateboarding as well. He said,
Yeah, the last time I was on a skateboard, the wheels were steel. That's it. That's how long ago it was.
There you go.
Steel wheels.
Steel wheels.
The first early editions of the skateboard.
That's exactly.
Exactly. So So it's really cool that she's doing this, and I saw some of her videos, and it's very talented, man.
I hope right now we can cut to a video of you at like 7 trying to get on the skateboard.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
have one.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Can you dig deep,
Yeah.
please, for the sake of entertainment and amusement? You know what I mean?
Well, worst case
Yeah.
scenario, we'll just go into Photoshop and put them in the.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
hey,
you
let's
go.
do that.
There you
Boom.
go.
I'll say this. I consider myself an athlete.
Okay. You look like an athlete too.
Thank you. But balance is the one thing, is my Achilles, specifically on skateboards. I can kind of stay on them, and I can use my agility to make it look like I could do something.
Okay.
But man, I suck at skateboarding. So
Yeah.
anyone who could stay on a skateboard or trick or do any of that stuff, man, it's pretty crazy.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, very excited to have her on board. Should we bring her in, Mike?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Stephanie, you there?
It's almost like he's shouting to his wife. Come on, bro.
I'm used to Jamaican right now.
Stephanie.
Let's go.
Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. I'm very excited today.
Hold on. We always say morning because we normally do this in the morning.
Yes.
Can you be truthful?
Why?
It's the afternoon, dude.
Oh, I feel like it's morning.
Well,
in
you're on
Jamaica,
you're on
there's
Jamaican
no time.
time.
I'm on Jamaican time.
There is
right
no
now. Yeah,
time.
exactly.
There's no time in
Exactly.
Jamaica.
Well, let's rewind. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Today is a wonderful afternoon.
Yes.
Very excited today because we have Stephanie Battieste, CEO of Babes Brigade, and
We got to put echo on that. Say it again. CEO of...
CEO of Babes Brigade.
Gay.
It's pretty cool, what you do, which is all around skateboarding. Okay, we were talking just before you came in here how we've all failed at skateboarding.
Yeah, we suck at skateboarding.
Yeah, with balance and all. But to do it justice, tell us a little bit about Babes Brigade and what you're doing in the move. I like to think of it as a movement almost when I was reading it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and we don't want to misinterpret it. So if it's even bigger than a movement, then set it straight. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I guess the basis of it, and over time, basically, people started calling it a movement because really, when it's just me and 3 girls, it's not really looked at it in that light yet until I got the numbers up and there's 30, 40, 50 girls plus coming out to
Wow.
meetups and stuff, right? So Babes Brigade started off as just a platform on Facebook that was just a meetup
Okay.
for women to come out and skate. So I'd be like, hey, I'm going to be at this skate park. Just me. Not like me and a bunch. Just me as a female. I'll be there if you want to come out just to kind of like take the edge off. Because
Yeah.
it's male dominated.
Yeah.
I mean, even still to this day when I go there, there's a good chance that I'm still the only female there.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean they're not out there, right?
Yeah.
I literally just had an event yesterday and it went super well. I was stoked. There was like 20 girls that came out and we teach lessons.
Okay. What's the age range that kind of come out?
So we teach at 4 and up. I've even taught like
yeah.
3-year-olds, believe it or not.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But a majority of girls I would say are between 8 and 14.
Okay.
And then we do women's lessons. And that's 17 plus.
Okay.
And so again, it's that weird age gap between like 16 to like 19. It's kind of like, where do I fit in? Do I go to girls' lessons? Do I go to women's lessons? So at the same time, I like to do an event where I have both girls and women out at the same time, along with more advanced and just beginners coming out where they can kind of see where they're comfortable, where they fit in. So
Okay.
I try and break it up by age group, but really it's so difficult because you got a ton of different skill levels, different comfortability. So yesterday after an event that I did, which was at Skate Loft, which is in Scarborough, which is an indoor skate park. That's where I've been hosting lessons for almost 4 years now. There is half the amount of women that came out and girls, so both youth and women, wanted still to continue going to an indoor space because they still feel more comfortable there. They're still not ready to go to the outdoor parks. It is still very intimidating.
Right.
So it's interesting to hear the feedback.
I never thought of it. I lived in Santa Monica for a little bit, and I remember going to Venice Beach. There's an audience. If you
Yes.
fail, what's cool about skateboarding, you either could do it or you can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you fail in public, I can see that there's a pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from all the gender stuff, where it's just
Yeah.
the stigmas of okay, you're taken from our time.
Yeah.
I know that I played basketball, and guys had that attitude. They had that attitude at the Y and the different rec centers. If a girl wanted to be on a team, they would be like this. Okay, until some of the girls spanked guys, for
Yeah.
real. They literally, in college, at the college level, they can hoop, they could play, and guys go, okay, whatever. They think they'd be this hero, and they would literally lose. And then they would. Some guys I even saw challenge a girl 1-on-1 because they were being razzed by the guys. Okay, fine, I'll play them 1-on-1, and the girl beat them, like spanked them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is very interesting. Basically I do lessons and I throw events and contests and everything in between as well. So I'm getting on sponsorships. If someone hits me up and they want to collaborate on something, I'm pretty open.
Really cool.
So it's a lot of different things.
Like the meetup. Have you ever gone to a meetup?
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
It's actually pretty cool. When I first heard about it, they happen like worldwide now.
Yeah.
Like that's the power of Facebook and social media. People just, it could happen. I spoke to a guy, he did a meetup for like a specific type of coffee. Started in Toronto.
Crazy.
And then he was like, okay, I'm going to Paris next week. And he's like literally traveling the world to host these meetups that started in Toronto.
Yeah.
And it's all about just finding people that love what you love, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's
and
really
that's
cool.
the goal. That's really inspiring for me to hear that because this is all very new to me.
Yes.
And so it's just been Toronto for me for almost 4 years now. And then I went to Venice Beach. Funny that you mentioned it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Fully lived that like Venice skate park vibe.
Yes.
Like I was there for like
With
basically 5 days.
The sun setting on the Pacific.
The culture,
Yes.
the culture down in LA with the skate life, is it much more, female prominent than it is here in Toronto?
It's yes, definitely yes.
Okay.
Luckily, when I was there, I met a woman who's been throwing events similar to mine.
That's cool.
For a long time. I mean, they're more advanced. I mean, even in BC, in regards to Canada, because the weather's warmer, and I don't even really know why, but for some reason, they're like at least 15 years ahead of us. I mean, they've got tons of skate parks there. We have 2 indoor parks that are in Mississauga and Scarborough.
Right.
There's a lot of work to be done in Toronto still, but
Interesting.
yeah. But like the Venice skate park scene was cool because like I wasn't there as the only female. Even when there wasn't an event going on there, I did see about 10 other women there, so that was cool.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah, it goes to show you what could be the future in Toronto, right?
Okay.
What's really cool about Venice is people from all over the world are around that skate park, and I remember the first time we went there, I'm there with my wife and my kids, and we kind of walk up to it, and my girls are watching it, and they're like, maybe that's how they got their little skateboard
Yeah,
fever,
the
right?
inspiration, just seeing
it. And they felt it. And the reason why we went kind of by the ledge of this park, and no joke, we just hear, and a guy literally takes off, and literally we just see the underside of his skateboard and crosses like over our heads and then lands back in. That was our first thing we saw.
Yes.
Which is crazy. I mean, you can see why people stay there for hours and just watch them.
Yeah, it's we don't have anything like that here, that's for
No.
sure. I mean, when I was there the whole time, like, I'm still getting used to the park. I mean, like, every time you go to a new park, a new bowl, like, you're getting used to it, you're still getting comfy.
Okay.
And, like, there's, like, I don't know, probably 100 people watching me, like, and,
Yes, there's an audience right off the top. There's not many things that the first time you try it, there's people watching, right?
Wow. Let me ask you this.
The bowl. I gotta
bowl?
remember the lingo
Yeah,
now. Okay,
yeah,
the bowl. Now
bowl.
we're experts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Been in the bowl in
Yeah.
Venice? Okay.
We both have girls, and mine's 13, 12, and 10.
12 and 9.
9,
Yes.
turning 10.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, my daughter's into basketball, okay? And, I mean, that's a sport that she really enjoys. I want to kind of gravitate towards you right now. How did you enter the world of skateboarding? I mean, I say that because it doesn't seem like it's a common thing for a girl to do. Do you know what I mean? At least from my world perspective, it doesn't seem like. I think it's really cool, but it doesn't seem like. How did you connect to that?
Even for guys, too. I mean, not many guys skateboard.
Yeah.
If you were to line up 100 guys, a couple tried.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So it's interesting because I'm 32 years old, so I don't come from the world of social media. I don't come from Facebook and Instagram. I had no exposure to female skateboarders whatsoever.
Okay.
At the same time, I grew up with 3 brothers, and I was around guys a lot, and I was always hanging out with the dudes. Like, it wasn't uncomfortable for me to try something that was, like, male-dominated because I was used to it. Another layer to that is that I had to kind of find myself at a really young age. So the confidence I have today is a lot of that has to do with kind of starting that from a young age, kind of being on my own. Also being a mixed race female. I lived in a predominantly white neighborhood with 3 brothers, and like, to be honest, I've had a lot of issues with like girls, like, there's this like girl on girl hate that goes on. And from the time I was 5 years old in kindergarten, I remember this girl kicking me under the table for no reason. Like, there's a lot of yes.
No kicking in kindergarten. I cannot believe it. There's no kicking in kindergarten.
Wow.
Man. Are you kidding me?
No. And I remember it clear as day all these years later, right? So there's a lot of layers to my experiences in life that kind of brought me to where I'm at now. So, yeah, like how did I get into skateboarding? There was a skateboard in my garage that like my brother's friend had given him that never got any love. And it was garbage. Like, I think it was from like Walmart or something. It was like a complete, like, it was horrible. But like, you know, I was somewhat of a loner when I was younger. You know, I kept to myself. And so as much of an athletic person as I am, and I still am today, I wasn't really into like team sports, you know? And so like skateboarding was great because it was something that was athletic, but it was just like me, myself, I'm challenging myself. It has nothing to do with anybody else. And I wasn't even going to skate parks because there weren't any skate parks where I grew up. So I'm like on, you know, my driveway in my garage by myself with this skateboard. And again, to put things into perspective, I don't know that there's other women doing this. You know, I don't know there's other girls doing this. So
it's your own little world. Where'd you grow up?
I spent most of my life in Vaughan.
Okay.
Maple. I went to high school in like King City. So back when I lived there, it was like farmland. It was still pretty country. Now it's like built up a lot.
Yeah, now it has like a Starbucks in every corner, like everywhere else.
Every corner.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. And that was kind of how you started the
it literally came out of nowhere. I just like started playing around with this board in my garage, and then it becomes addictive.
Now your brothers, you said, were they all into skateboarding?
No.
So how do they look at you? Like little, were you the youngest sister, by the way, or the middle?
Second youngest.
Okay, were they looking at you as like you doing your thing? Were they intrigued at all by it?
No, they don't. It wasn't, they could care less.
Okay.
They could care less. It was just my own thing. But also, you got to think of this. Nobody took it really seriously. No one really thought about it. No one took note of it. No one was like, oh, this girl like that skates. Like, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of attention on it now, and it's kind of built up over the past kind of, 10 to 5 years kind of thing. But before, no one really cared. It was huge in the 90s, but there was this lull. The time period that I come from, the late 90s, early 2000s, I don't feel like there was much happening with it. So it wasn't something that was looked upon. Now it's like, wow, this girl skates. That's so cool.
Yes.
Back in high school days, it was like, and I hate to say this term, but like the skids or like the trashy kids. Then it was the skateboarders. Then it was the, you know what I mean? It wasn't like you're cool because you skateboard. That wasn't,
synonymous with it.
So, yeah, it's very different now than when I started.
Is there a reason for the lull? Because it's true, there was a skateboard craze, and then rollerblades were crazy too.
It's just trends.
Yeah, I guess.
And from someone that comes from like fashion and art, and trends are everything, and it transcends everything, including what people are into athletic wise, or and like skateboarding's gotten to a point now. I think it's just because the popularity is growing. Now it's in the Olympics. Now 2020, it's in the Olympics for the first time.
Yeah. So what's that going to look like? Like, how are they going to be competing? Is it from a tricking kind of standpoint? Is it a course?
Well, there's people that are like, training with certain people to be in the Olympics. And then there's also, is it a sport? Isn't it a sport? There's like so many, different feelings about it.
Yeah. Do you know what the competition's going to look like at the Olympics?
No,
what they're going to be doing?
Yet. I haven't got that information. I don't know if it's out there yet.
Okay.
I don't know if it's out there yet.
Yeah.
But I look forward to finding out.
It's going to be the best in the world, though, so it's going to be pretty crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, I can assume who might be.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything for sure, so I'm not going to say
Oh,
anything.
yeah. She knows. She knows. She just can't tell us peasants. We know.
Do you follow the culture of skateboarding, like outside of what you do? Do you follow?
Absolutely. I mean, if I wasn't involved in that, I don't think I could do what I do.
So who would you say right now is the top skateboarder in the world? Like, I know it's not Tony Hawk anymore. That's the only guy that I know.
So, okay, well, actually, we just found out who won SLS, which is Street League.
Okay.
And it's Street League skateboarding, and then they did one in London. So this is really exciting. I don't want to say this wrong, but I believe it's the third year that they had women involved. So it was only men.
Okay.
Right? And then now they added this whole women's division.
Okay, cool.
And Pamela Rosa won it. She's only 19 years old.
Wow.
I feel bad because I don't remember second place, but third place, this girl from Brazil is only, I think, 9 years old.
Okay.
So there's
Holy
this,
smokes.
Are you
there's
kidding me?
a huge, like, it's weird because it's like, in a way, people don't know what to do because there's some women that are as good enough to compete with men.
Yes.
And then there's other people that believe like all the women should only compete against each other and the men should compete. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like we're still trying to figure out if we should do like unisex competitions
Yeah.
or
That's like Serena Williams with tennis. She dominated so
Yeah.
much. The conversation was she definitely can beat men.
Yeah.
They know that she can.
Yeah.
Should she be allowed to? Right?
Yes.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
the same thing in skateboarding too, and like I mean, it's not necessarily taken seriously to the point where like yeah, there's sponsorships and stuff, but I think the biggest problem with the Olympics is that they don't feel like the same people and companies that are feeding into the Olympics are actually helping skateboarding in any way. Like we're on our own. I mean, a lot of the parks, even in Toronto too, they're built by skateboarders. They're not by the city.
Really?
They're
Okay.
not by the city. We
Yeah.
we have to make it happen on our own. And so because it's such a like, guerrilla roots type of,
Initiative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard for it to be taken to that next level where, a lot of the skaters and stuff, they don't really understand that. It's a completely different world than
Yeah.
what we're used
Yeah.
to.
Corporate backing and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know how you are teaching right now?
Yeah.
Did anybody teach you?
No.
See
No.
that,
Oh,
and you know what?
hold on.
Without you even giving me the answer, I assume that, right?
Yeah.
And what's amazing is that you're actually right now teaching someone, which is incredible because imagine if you had that guidance as well when you were doing it, right?
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say that if you're learning without a teacher, that you're going to get a lot of bumps and bruises?
I think either way, for sure you'll get a lot of bumps and bruises. But one thing I've learned that like really surprised me is that I wish I took lessons because literally in an hour you can teach somebody so much.
Right.
It's like like the foot placement. I could spend months trying to figure out how to put my feet on my board to do
Yeah.
this or that, but you do a lesson, for an hour with me, and like you leave the place and you're like, okay, now I can try this next thing. But when you're doing it on your own completely, it takes so long. I mean, I'm teaching women. We don't have years and years to learn. We want to
Right.
learn like
Yeah.
Right.
as quickly as possible, and I think that's why so many are taking lessons.
Yeah, because the enjoyable thing about it is staying on the board. Right? Maybe that's why we didn't really keep with it, is because we didn't stay on.
Yeah,
Maybe we should do a lesson.
it's true, man. It's true.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
How many hours do you put in a week, basically just honing your skill for yourself?
Oh man, well the funny thing is I laugh about it. The more I work in the skateboarding industry, the less I'm skating for myself.
Yeah.
I
Right.
spend
That's
a
what usually
lot of time
usually
teaching.
happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you know what? I'm also like modeling. I'm acting. Like I can't afford to like break a leg or
Yes,
an
yes.
arm
True.
anymore.
Very
so
true. Very
I'm
true.
kind of like I find one thing that I have in common with a lot of other people that own businesses or skate parks, etc. We're all doing it because it's something we really love and we want to do for the long, the long haul.
Okay.
And skateboarding, you have a time frame, and especially when it comes to injuries, and if you're competing and stuff, like that's kind of different. The skateboarder is different than the skateboarding business owner. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like we're in it for long haul to support the people who are out there killing themselves trying to like make a career out of it,
Yeah.
right?
What are you trying to make? You have a movement kind of going on. You guys do these meetups, which one day might be citywide, and then countrywide, and then again, I've met some people. They go continent to continent. It started off as this little thing that they curated, and then the demand for it was huge.
Wow.
Imagine just traveling the world doing it.
Yes.
What would you like to cultivate? Like if you could, in light of Aladdin.
Yeah.
Will Smith and Aladdin out there. If you could have your wishes of like what would it look like?
Yeah, so the interesting thing, just the background to that question, is that I've been figuring out what I really love and want along the way.
Oh,
You
nice.
know, like it started as a meetup, but as a business owner, I owned a clothing company before,
Okay.
and I decided to put that on the back burner to focus on this. So, I guess it started as just a fun idea, and then I was like, oh, I see a business opportunity, and then I'm like, wow, there's so many women that don't have representation, and also there's nobody else doing this in Toronto. So I've really been focused on developing the skate scene in Toronto for 3.5 years.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And am very happy because it's definitely not what it was before. There's tons of women coming out and they're all connecting and they're working with each other. And so from that, like, the lessons were sprung, and then the contests, the events, reaching out to photographers to get the exposure.
Yes, smart.
You know what I mean? And like that, just seeing that, helps promote it to other people. Then my first trip to Venice Skate Park, and that was only, back in November was the first time I went there. And then I went there for a second time last month. And last month when I went, I was on a mission, and that was to promote my business. And that was the first time ever that I left Toronto, left Canada. So other than Montreal, I've never left Canada and went out there. And I know I have followers that are in the States and stuff, but never actually met them, Yeah. And so like my second day out there, I met a woman who runs basically a not-for-profit that's called Girls on a Four-Letter Word, and she's out in California in Venice Beach area, hosting events and giving exposure to women. She has a team, like basically a lot of the same things I'm doing here. And I talked to her for 10 minutes, and I had like the most insightful conversation I've honestly had in all this time because I don't have anybody else to look to for advice.
Okay.
As a first person to do something, that's the difficulty of it. I'm just, winging it and hope things work out. So I'm constantly learning, constantly seeing like what I want to do and where I can take this. So the end goal, to answer your question, especially seeing how successful that one time going to Venice Skate Park, I met another woman who asked me to sponsor her girls' skate event. And then she was telling other women in, California about what I do. And then they were writing me here in Toronto. It was amazing. And that was in those 5 days I went there and one day that I met somebody. So yeah, that like got me really excited. So my like goal now is to travel and to do lessons outside of just Canada, to have a clothing line online, like to have a shop through my website. And yeah, so just keep growing with it as much as I can.
That's good, man. You can sense this passion, man. It's amazing. Yeah. Very contagious.
I love it. Just, when you go, it's the journey is what makes it so sweet, right? That you just don't know. There's no blueprint what you're saying. You're not just, you're not going to college for this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to me, that's where it's exciting. We kind of share that. We love the undefined. We love just thinking like what could be possible.
Right.
And then what's so cool about that, when you know it yourself, when you're sure-footed. We're not sure-footed on a skateboard, but we are in other ways, okay?
Yeah.
But when you know what you're about,
you
meet people that know what they're about.
That's right.
And then sometimes it just works perfect. They're literally they're the left hand to your right hand. And it's like, wow, if we just did this, and then all of a sudden you break into new territory. There's something else that's in front of you.
And speaking of that, my mind's been racing. I mean, just before this even started. So when you said your other side is from Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, for what you're doing, if you brought some of that to Jamaica, they would gobble all that up.
Have you been to Jamaica?
Unfortunately, I have not yet.
Good setup, right? Bump set.
There you go.
I'm feeling this was coming. Been focused on, my roots here, but I plan on traveling, and I would love to do that. Yeah. I wish I remembered the handle, but I do know there is like some group of people in Jamaica that are trying to build a skate park right now.
Really?
What?
Yeah. So and I've never heard of this before, and I was like, oh my god, like this is so exciting. Because it's like I've been doing this in my own little world here, but then you start to find out like it is a global movement, and not just with the female thing, but just trying to have more opportunities for people in skateboarding.
For sure,
absolutely,
for sure. It's also like Jamaica's waiting for not just Jamaica, but I'm saying a lot of these these third world countries or other areas of the world that they're looking for something to be brought and developed into their city. I mean, I give you an example. You look at Uber, for example. It doesn't exist in those areas. By the way, it was very funny. When we got off the bus, someone says they're going to call an Uber. I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen.
In Jamaica?
Yeah, in Jamaica.
One of the tourists said that?
Yeah, one of the tourists. But
Uber is probably like the resort uncle. Yes, Uncle Uber.
Yeah, exactly. We actually had one of our guests, Tyler Buxton, who brought his boxing promoting United to Jamaica. And they were so open to the concept of having, just boxing in their little island. Like I said, for something like that, I wanted it to sit in your mind because I think there could be an incredible opportunity there. Like
I
really
agree,
big.
but you know what? One thing I did want to mention today that 3.5 years later, as a business owner, a sole proprietorship, it's not a not-for-profit, it's not a charity.
Yes.
There are so many barriers for me.
Speak to some of those. What are some of the barriers?
Well, government doesn't want to help you out. There's a lot of banks and stuff that offer grants and all that kind of stuff, but they're for not-for-profits, they're for charities. There's certain guidelines you have to be around. There's certain industries that it has to be based around. So I haven't not been able to find the support that I need, and I'm doing this. I work a full-time job. I'm also doing this. I'm trying to do the acting thing. Like I'm not rich by any means, but I keep it going no matter what.
Yes.
Instead of like selling out and being okay, I'm gonna take this career job because I got the experience,
Right.
But that's what is hard about being a business owner. It's that like motivation and like that drive to keep going when things are hard. When it's like, oh my God, I have all these people coming out, but I don't even drive right now. It's hard, but it's
I can give you an idea of what the missing ingredient could be.
Yeah.
Because your movement's so grassroots, and it needs to be, right? You say things like it in order for it to be like a really pure thing that is just amazing for the people that participate. It has to come from there. It can't be some marketing scheme.
Yeah.
From a bunch of people in a boardroom.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what we should do, like, to get votes up or whatever.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. But the missing link that we see with some of our clients is corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
And you need there's certain key people that's their world.
Yeah.
And their world, because corporate sponsors want to find trends. They want to find people that are like influencers, that are like literally in their circle making an impact. And they know that if their brand or whatever they're about is in line, and I think that's the key, just finding people who are in line with what you're doing or your belief system. They would say, okay, like for example, you never know, like Dove, Dove had these amazing commercials about like what does it mean to be beautiful to a woman, okay, and they kind of redefined that or visited and said like, no, you're not going to tell us what's beautiful, we're going to say it, okay. So something like that, if corporate sponsorship would give you the resources, they would secure and kind of pull the strings and stuff, because because this is the trade-off. For you to benefit or to be able to have this sustainable, you would have to charge the little girls that come money.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I'll teach you skateboarding. Yeah, it's $90 an hour. And I just say,
Not that much, but yes.
but, but you know what I mean, though? Like
Yes.
that is like the traditional model.
Yeah.
Is that your end user they have to pay big money in order to have this luxury, to learn this skill set or expertise.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think so. There might be something there. Like, I'm not an expert in that, but I've seen that when there's that happy marriage, that you have that person who says, "Look, we're not boots on the ground. We have no idea the needs of kids and what. Like, you have their ear, and you're cultivating something that's so cool. And we definitely could market this, and we definitely could like help you start a movement. So I'll give you an example, like Cliff Bars. Okay. The protein bar?
Yeah.
Cliff Bars could say, man, this is amazing what you're doing. We're going to sponsor a Babes Brigade from continent to continent. And we're literally going to, this is the money. We're going to pour in this and just come up with a plan. Tell us how you're going to do this. Do you have a network? Oh, yeah, I'm connected with these people in Brazil, and I'm connected. Okay, so we're literally going to come up with something and duplicate it from continent. Like, I'm just telling you, that's kind of how,
absolutely.
That's kind of how it works. So it's like, sometimes it's like the person who is creating it's the toughest for you to grow it sometimes, because you're about what's in the pot. You're cooking. You're not trying to get people in to taste it. Get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? The backstory of that is I have worked with companies before, and they have not given me what I wanted.
Well, how has it been? Oh, see, so it's the wrong expression of it.
But that's the hard part,
How has it been? I'm curious. Like, have they like sourced you and kind of like said, oh, you know what, we could do this, and propositioned you for something that didn't work out? Or did you seek them out?
I think no. You know what though? Like, definitely a lot of people have come to me. And so I guess I find it's usually like I get sponsorships easily, but I mean it's not long-term help.
Okay.
It's for one event.
Okay.
It's you know what I mean? And then when I've reached out to other businesses, and a lot of those big companies, if you actually read the fine print, it's charities, it's not-for-profits, it's organizations.
That's who they want to
It's
back.
not small businesses like me, but what I'm doing is just as important. Right? And like what people don't realize is that small businesses are dying. This economy is being bruised because of people like me that can't survive.
It's true.
Because there's big companies and people are very blind to it. And they like to talk about it one day, but then just keep feeding back to these big companies, right? And they don't really realize that like the small businesses, they want to have a business so other people can make money. Like, so even yesterday, I could have tons of people volunteer if I wanted to.
Yes.
But I try my best to pay people. So, I'm charging them, yes, but I'm going to try and, I'm going to pay my instructors. That's how you have a business, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
that's the struggle, is what I'm doing is such a beautiful thing that people assume everything's for free.
Right.
But
Yeah.
after working my ass off and
Yeah.
barely having, money to afford my rent, I
Yeah.
can't do everything
Yes.
for free,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's why it's come to this point now. This is years and years of work to get to the point where it's like, okay, my time is valuable because I'm super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've poured in so much to be able to give back something.
Yeah,
I
and
totally get it.
I think it's a beautiful thing, but what I believe in, this is what I truly believe, is that people should get paid to do beautiful, amazing things. Not
Yes.
everyone has to volunteer and to do something that it is a good thing. I want to live the rest of my life and be able to live off of doing something good for other people.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
absolutely.
That's the goal.
So I guess you were saying about it's a bruise in a business sense. It's, I guess, so systemic. The issues are systemic.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of how it could be resolved? Like if, with the magic wand, what do you think?
Okay, so
what do you think it needs?
I'm always
Specific.
planning.
Yeah.
I am always planning. If there's a problem, I'm going to think about it and I'm going to plan it.
Okay.
So what I've realized is that over these years, I've really been focused on like how to get other women involved in the skate scene, blah, blah, but I haven't really thought about like what are my resources? Who's helping me? And the problem is like it's so important for me to have that help, because if I don't, then I can't keep doing what I'm doing, right? So basically, I started to realize that I don't have much help as an entrepreneur, and I feel like nobody understands what I'm doing, especially in the skateboarding scene, where a lot of people can't have businesses in that industry. Anyways, it's cutthroat. It's very difficult. It's dominated by massive businesses that
Yeah.
are mostly owned in the States and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they
right?
steer everything.
Yeah, and so what I'm going to try and do now is start throwing events for other female entrepreneurs, especially if they're into like skateboarding or any sort of male-dominated industry. I'm planning on doing like a panel discussion so I can connect with other women, that are also in the same position as me, because I just don't know who to turn to for advice. Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to solve that problem. That's my plan. And so what I've learned from, the Babes Brigade thing in the first place is that if you just put it out there, people just start to come out of the woodwork.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's what's amazing. Yeah.
Look, you're creating your opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times, I mean, these are some interesting obstacles that a lot of maybe businesses not may face in this specific thing.
People would see the obstacle and just stop.
Exactly.
Right.
And this is not the situation here. I mean, you're creating your plan Bs and your Cs and stuff, and that's amazing. And that actually is a testament to what I love is the work ethic.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're doing something very special. The
you.
minute I looked at it, I'm like, man, this is really, really cool. You know what I mean? And all it takes is a little bit of exposure to kind of get that momentum going, and it's a whole different world.
Yeah, and there's this book I bring up, Creativity Inc. It's written by Ed Catmull. He started Pixar. Okay,
Cool.
so and then basically partnered with Steve Jobs to create all those movies we know. He has this chapter in the book titled Randomness, and it means that at some point when you're doing something great, you can't plan, but a random thing can work against you or for you. Okay, and this wave can come and can crush your industry and what you're doing, or it can catapult it. So as much as he's accomplished, he said that the timing was perfect for him to be in Silicon Valley and for animated movies to start to come into form. And so, we don't have a crystal ball, but what you're doing is definitely something great. And you just never know that something kind of comes, this falls here. And it's just so good that you're paying attention. You're
Thank
planning.
you.
Yeah, and then you just connect with people. That's like, you can't do business with a business. You do business person to person.
Right.
Yeah.
Jack has to talk to John to talk with Jackie, who says, yeah, call
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Right.
It's like, that's a good reggae song.
Yeah. There you go, man. There you go.
But that's what's so cool. And I say, like, I think you're doing all the right things.
Aw, thank you
we,
so
we,
much.
we meet a lot of people that are like about something, but there's something that doesn't connect. And the thing that doesn't connect is they don't connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
They're all about their thing.
Yeah.
And then they're looking like through you.
Yeah.
You know that conversation where you're a means to an end.
Yeah.
And it's like, love what I'm doing, but I don't care who you are or what you're about.
Right.
Right. And you know that, I hope you find some type of sponsorship or someone that comes and says and sees like what's going on here. and says, okay, you know what, you just need this type of infrastructure, or you need this, just something like this, and then you come up with this kind of win-win-win scenario. You know,
For sure.
To me, like there's like I love blazing a trail, kind of doing something on my own back. It's so much better when you look to your right and left. There's someone else doing the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
And I'll say this: look, if you know our hearts, we love to help people all the time, and in return, we have a lot of people that help us out, which is incredible. Because at the end of the day, you give and you receive, right? You know, after the show, I'm more than happy to potentially link you up to some people that could, in essence, you know, maybe give a little more exposure to know kind of what you're doing and
Thank
stuff.
you.
Because, like I said, I think it's cool on so many levels. One, it's amazing that the art of skateboarding could be presented to girls. First of all, that's incredible in itself. But also, you're doing something for the city. You know what I mean? And that to me is huge as well. The city of Toronto. I mean, we're getting more and more exposure. Things are tying us together, like the Raptors this past weekend.
oh hey, we haven't even talked Raptors.
We haven't even talked Raptors, man. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
But there's so much things happening.
I have Raptors speaker.
Yeah,
That's
but
my Filipino dad talking right now.
we're being put on the spotlight, and you know, like I said, the work that you're doing, I 100% believe it is going to get noticed, and it's going to transfer into something.
Thank
and
you.
to me, keep
Thank
that
you.
grind, man. Keep that grind.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: doing what you've been doing for so long, do you have any like memorable injuries? Out of curiosity, I'll tell you why. Because I was watching
the war wounds.
some videos on your website, and there was this one particular video was showing this girl trying to get this. She's jumping off some stairs and
Yeah.
flipping on a board.
What's
And at
the what's the name? You know, the skateboarding lingo.
the pop and flip? I just
Sounds
created
like a kick flip.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go kick.
Okay, I'm gonna go kick
All I
that.
know is triple sow cow from figure skating. Jerry, you know this? Do you know the triple sow cow?
No.
Man of many words.
Yes.
Yeah, but when I saw this, and then she looked at her elbows, and she had these like scuff marks on her elbows, right, from doing it. But the first thing I thought is, where's her helmet? Where's her pads? It's like she had nothing
You're
on.
such a mom. You're
Yeah,
such a Greek
I'm
mother.
such a Greek mother.
You're such a Greek
yeah, there you go, man. So when I saw that, I was like, whoa. So tell me.
This
first
is
of all-
not safe.
Yeah, this is not safe. Oh my goodness. If I saw my daughter doing that, I'd be like, go put
Okay,
on.
okay.
This
Hold up.
This
Okay.
is good.
Okay.
Set him straight.
18 or under, you have to wear a helmet and knee pads and protective gear.
Okay, good. There you
Okay.
go.
If you're over 18, technically, legally, you have the choice.
Okay.
Yes.
But, of course, better safe than sorry. You are going to get injured. But, yeah, it's a funny thing. Like, I laugh about it all the time. Like, I didn't grow up wearing a helmet. It's like this, when you're a kid and you start skating, it's not cool.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I wasn't at skate parks and stuff like that. Oh man, my parents would kill me if I was going to the skate park and drop, on
Yeah.
concrete. I was in my garage, so it wasn't quite as crazy.
Yeah.
But then you get older and you're like, yeah, I'm so ridiculous. You're like, oh, I'm too cool for a helmet. You
Yeah.
know? Like it's. I don't know, but yeah, you're not going to see any pros skateboarding in helmets, but they could smash their head too, and it
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
so I can't even tell you.
But do you have a memorable injury that
Well, okay. Well, speaking of like the elbows, I've never broken anything. I've been really lucky.
Amazing.
Okay,
I
yeah.
play it pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something we get called swellbow. I don't have it right now, but you can see.
Swellbow.
Actually, this is just the remnants of still Venice Beach 3 weeks ago. I
Hey.
still got a little like scar thing going
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
But
Nice. A lingering memory.
Yes,
Isn't it
yes,
good?
Yeah.
yeah. But we get swellbow, so your elbow you smash it, and then you smash again, and
Okay.
it just starts growing like
Wow.
bigger and bigger. I think my worst injury though was when I fell on my tailbone.
Oh.
Oh, that's
You
not
know,
fun.
you can
Yes.
imagine. And
Yeah.
so there's something I do called like slappies or like grinding on a curb.
Yeah.
So like literally like a concrete curb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like you wax them so you can slide down them and stuff. And somebody waxed it like a lot. It was me. And I slipped backward and just bang,
Oh,
on my
man.
butt. And yeah, that was like so painful.
I didn't know that you waxed them.
Yeah,
That's the secret.
to slide. So you can grind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tricks of the trade.
So the trade.
You know what? I'm gonna impress my daughters. Get some
Yeah.
wax. Hey, look
You
at what your
should.
daddy's gonna try.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we'll call the ambulance now.
Yeah. Get EMS ready, prompted, ready to go.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness. So to me, when because this is going to be obviously a probing question, is skateboarding for kids safe?
Come on.
No, I mean, like look to me, you ask me, like I'm not reverse. I know you call them the Greek mom, but I'm actually like all about
this weekend warrior.
Exactly. Going out and doing your thing.
So I think safety comes like one, you have to wear your protective gear, like I said. That
Right.
is going to make a world of difference.
Right.
That right there. Two, who your instructor is, what kind of environment they're teaching you in. Are they going to be like, yeah, drop in on that, mini ramp when it's your first day skateboarding? Like I work very slowly with my kids. I make sure that they're like ready to go when we're trying the next trick. Like a kid will come out their first day skating ever and they're ready to do something that they shouldn't be doing yet. If I let them do that, they're very prone to injuring themselves, breaking an arm, whatever.
Right.
Absolutely. But I'm stopping them from doing that. I have to let them work at a safe pace.
No, that's good.
So
Smart.
if it's a parent that's, teaching their kid, they have to be cautious of that as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there really is no difference skateboarding and skating. I mean, you think about it,
Yeah, I mean, ice skating is probably more dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
be
you're
real
right.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I suck at skating
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think all skating I suck, man. Anyways, look, it's good to admit your weaknesses,
Yes.
right? Speaking of parents, if you teach kids, their wonderful parents will be in tow. And we
Yes.
know in Toronto we have some crazy parents. Okay?
Yes, we
Like, for
do.
real. Oh my goodness, what exists? You wonder, if you want to hope for the kids, you got to work with the parents first. Sometimes.
Yeah.
How has it been working with parents that see their little daughter try to get on a skateboard? Have they all backed them? Is that why they're there?
Yes,
Have they been
okay.
really reluctant? Do you have to
Yeah.
sometimes hold daddy's hand and say, "Listen"?
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, there's that's the funny thing. Like I mentioned before, like things are changing so much. And I mean, these parents, a lot of them are around my age or not that much older. And I know what I'm like, and we're more open-minded. We're kind of like, yeah, our kid is into skateboarding. Let's get them, hooked up and let's go out there. This is cool. This is awesome. They're filming them. They have Instagram accounts and stuff. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, the
Nice.
support, it all
That's
is
awesome.
1000% comes down to the parent.
Okay, good.
Bringing them out. There's this one little girl named Faye. Like, she's only 9, and she is unbelievably good. And she started less than a year ago, or
Wow.
just a year ago. And she, and her mom takes her to the skate park for hours. She's there supporting her.
That's amazing.
That's so
But-
cool.
Yeah, and she's like,
So
go
a
do
skate
it.
mom.
Yeah,
Not a soccer
yeah,
mom,
there's
a
skate moms.
mom.
There's skate
That's
moms
another
now.
movement. Start that.
Yes, there is. There
yeah,
is.
that's a whole Instagram
Wow.
account. You can do everything with that. Get on that, Christina. Skate moms. Okay.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I'll back that. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's so. Oh, that's awesome.
I actually, when is your next event that you're planning?
Oh my God, that's the worst question for me right now because I just had one yesterday, and then everyone's like, okay, and like I was saying earlier, people want me to do indoor, and then they want me to do outdoor. People want me in the West End, East End. I honestly can't keep up.
Right.
But I'm within the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna plan on doing an outdoor event at Ashbridge's skate park.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a cool
Yeah,
spot.
that's usually where I do my events because it's massive.
Yeah.
There's tons of places to skate. There's a lot of different obstacles. We have the room.
Okay. What's the room?
It's right, but space. I mean,
Oh,
like
okay,
the
okay,
space.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, nice,
So,
nice.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to come and check it out because
is that spot lit in the night? Do they have
That is something that they're working on. So
It
there
doesn't
was
have, right?
Yeah, I don't have all my up to date.
No, I don't think it does. I think it has
don't
street
think
lights.
does
It has street lights off a lakeshore,
But
it
I
doesn't
heard
have.
that they did get a movement passed that they're going to put lights in.
okay.
Right, so I know it was a process. There was stage 1 of that skate park, stage 2, stage 3. They put the bowl in after they built the other part, and then
Yeah.
the lights are kind of another part. So
It'd be cool just because
course.
Victoria Day weekend just passed. I was at the beaches for fireworks with the fam.
yeah,
Oh, very nice.
At the back of our SUV, just looking
Nice.
with hot chocolate. It was but that skate park would be really cool if fireworks going off on Canada Day
Yeah.
and stuff, and then having
Yeah.
guys skating and
Yeah.
just taking photos and yeah, that'd be cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Well,
And when I say guys, I mean guys. For me, it means guys and girls.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I- I throw that out there.
look.
Hey guys.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
I use it too.
That's right.
yeah, just
Well, look. I want there to be a little shout out right now. Any parents that have a child, or a little girl or guy listening right now wants to. By the way, hold on. I said guy. Okay, let's just stick to the original. Yeah. So someone out there wants to learn how to skate. How do they find you? Any information you want to push out right now?
Yes, so I'm Babes Brigade. So we have a website called www.babesbrigade.ca. So all the info's on there. There's going to be a pop-up, and you can subscribe to our email list. And then every time I do an event, I send it out to the email list. I also have an Instagram. It's babes_brigade.
Okay.
And then there's Facebook. So facebook.com/babesbrigade. If you search us on Google, we'll come up as well. So
What is the eldest student that you've had?
I don't know her exact age, but in her 50s.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And back
is
to the whole
amazing.
skate moms thing is like a lot of the moms are getting back into skateboarding because their daughters are into it.
Okay.
So that's a
Yeah.
whole new thing too.
That's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Yeah, because first time
Yeah.
around, it just,
Yeah. Yeah. We're like,
Yeah.
didn't work out for me.
Yeah,
so
but they're picking it up now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
Never
cool.
too late. I say that all the time.
Crazy.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My wife grew up with two brothers, and she was in tow with them. She beat them up all the time.
Oh yeah,
basically.
yeah. We
so
get along.
Yeah, she's a better skateboarder than me.
Well, I'll tell you this, Stephanie. I'm very, very happy you stopped by because, first of all, again, the movement is crazy, and I love it. I love what you're doing. I definitely want to see this, just get on that same level and rep sports because, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, my daughter chose basketball. However, if there was a slew more of options outside of obviously the generic hockey and soccer and all that stuff, I think it's just the exposure piece, and you are 100% on that right track. And I'm excited for you.
Yeah, and you're definitely
Thank you.
really
you
excited
definitely
for you.
have the energy to be the spokesperson of this to really push it.
Yeah,
Like,
you
know
really
what I
do.
mean?
Yeah.
Thank
I mean, I can see with like
you.
Red Bull in your hand or something.
Oh yeah, they support me. Red Bull
they?
support. Yeah, I did my 3-year anniversary party at their space downtown Toronto.
Yeah,
and they
nice.
offered that to me, and that was amazing.
Wow.
Like so. Yeah, I
Okay,
do
so
have support.
some love.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cry a little bit. I meant
no.
like the monetary support, the like
Yes,
5,
yes.
10-year
Sustainable.
plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is hard, but I have a lot of people in the community supporting me. Absolutely.
That's really
and I have to
cool.
thank them too. Shout out Skate Loft.
Hey,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Great.
It would be really cool to see something like this in Jamaica.
It would.
You know,
You're
'cause
inspiring me, man. I'm like
Yeah.
ready to book my plane
The reason-
ticket over.
So Tyler Buxton, as Constantine was saying, he's a boxing promoter, cultivated something amazing in Brampton. He's really changing the whole boxing scene in Toronto, which was dead, and a couple of key guys like Tyler just brought new life to it. On a whim, he started doing it in Jamaica. He
Right.
would go on vacation there, and he realized like there's a huge boxing scene or love of boxing. Had no idea, so he literally does how many? He
Like
does
14, 15 shows a year.
14, 15 shows a year in Jamaica.
Right.
Like, he now has a house in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, and it's just this whole other thing where there's literally 1 million people watch the fights on television in Jamaica alone. Okay.
Right.
Of what he puts on there. So, but then so think of like the ripple effect of what he's creating. You know, that the neighborhoods there, the different communities that they wouldn't have. So he's bringing in structure and resources and kind of backing, but it's benefiting even people that really need it.
For sure.
That really
Yeah.
need something, because they don't have watches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
but in tying with what you're saying about watch and time, when you go away sometimes, we're at such a fast pace. We're moving, and then everything just slows right down. And it's when you slow down where your mind stands still and you just start thinking now, like,
See what's
whoa,
possible.
Here's
What-
what's possible. What could happen? And like I said, to me, because I'm still in that slow period right now, literally just coming back last
Yeah,
night.
you just got back.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
He normally talks really, really fast.
Yeah,
I'm
you
joking.
can't even hear me. Yeah, I honestly, like I said, I wanted to plant the seed because, like I said, it's to see that side where you're like, wow, I could do something here. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely. You're inspiring me with
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Jamaica thing. And I mean, that's just one other place, but really like.
yeah,
And then the going to Venice was a vacation for me too.
nice.
Yeah.
And then it turned in.
It
I
could
was
be
like,
both. It could be both.
you can't stop, won't stop. Am I right? Like
Yeah.
I was like, before I went there, I booked 2 photo shoots because I model and I act as well. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I can do when I'm traveling.
Right.
And also I just want to add this towards the end that it's not just skateboarding. It is such a support group for women.
Okay.
And that was like almost from the beginning. It was like the confidence I'm trying to exude. I'm trying to inspire other women to be like, I can do whatever the hell I want to.
Right.
And I have to thank my parents for that. Honestly, they let
Yeah.
me be whoever I want to be. There was no pressure.
That's
to have,
awesome. Yeah.
And I know that makes a world of difference in like who you end up, ultimately becoming. So.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
voice, that backing. And Constantine says, that whole quote. His youth pastor told him this. That's what it was, right?
Yes.
Show me your 5 friends, and
I'll tell who you are.
And I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all need a tribe. We need someone that kind of gets us in our idiosyncrasies and weaknesses, and is like, you know what? We're about the same thing.
Exactly.
It's really cool. Jamaica.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, it's a great. Man, imagine the first time going there, being half Jamaican, and you're just on the street level. You're doing something like this, and like, oh man, it'd be so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like a photographer, videographer's dream to cover that, all that stuff.
Speaking of photographer, we got Jerry over there, who's an incredible photographer.
Yes, a professional photographer.
Jerry, we might have to get you out at one of her her
Yeah.
You know
meets,
what?
man.
He has a drone. He's amazing with just kind of shooting on the fly. I can see you on a skateboard in the bowl getting shots no one's ever got.
Sorry, I can see myself on a skateboard going directly to the hospital. No, but I would like to shoot it because I have done the action sports. Do you know Jibs?
No.
There's Jibs Action Sports. There's something that was put together out in Shawinigan, the 6 Nations Indian Reserve, and a friend of mine runs the racetrack over there. And they had all these guys from skateboarders to the scooters to the bicycles, and I'll show you some pictures afterwards that I shot there. But I would love to come out and and shoot and
Awesome. I'd love to have you.
yeah,
Looks
you're
sick.
welcome to the photos.
What a name, Jibs.
Yeah.
That's a guy I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know Jibs?
I have no idea.
I want to know Jibs. Anyway, that's
Sounds like a reggae artist. Hey, Jibs, man.
Yeah, wheel it.
But sick. I'm so happy. Like I said, you came down. For everyone
Did you just say
listening.
sick?
Yeah, I did.
The kids say lit.
Lit?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Speaks to
right.
my age.
Come on, old man.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
exactly.
bodacious, dude.
We are so happy Stephanie came down. Babes Brigade. One more time, the shout out to the website.
Yep. www.babesbrigade.ca.
I was listening.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And if you wanna come into some skateboarding, this is the place you gotta go. Represent the T dot. Really, really happy, and can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you.
When you guys do meetups, do you guys skate through the city? Have
we
you guys
usually
done that?
stay in one
Okay.
spot, but you know what? That's next.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
I say that because
inspiring.
that's an LA thing. Because in LA they do these kind of ride along things, and I don't mean like ride along with cops. There's a whole like bicycle scene in
Yeah.
LA,
Yeah.
and I remember in Venice, literally we're like, I forgot what we're doing, but the line started. There's just this kind of low rider bike that was passing by, and it was about 25 minutes long. I'm not joking. It was maybe about 2,000 people worth that were just riding along with all
Wow.
these kind of tricked out bikes, guys with speakers. There's like a dog on a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just like, and then literally people are like, man, I want to join that. They want to be a part. And then they had like flyers to say if you want
That's
to
a
come.
great idea.
Yeah. So that's like the
That's a
best way.
great idea.
Just go through the streets of Toronto.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I
would
love
be.
that.
Yeah, that would look so cool. That in itself, I mean, that would just really spread big time.
Thank
Amazing.
you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Amazing.
isn't that cool?
I'll
There you
have
go.
to hit you up when I'm doing
Yeah,
that.
sounds good.
100%.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Well,
I'll be
awesome.
running alongside. You know? I'm not gonna try to skate, man.
And
That
Jerry will be
suck.
filming, guys.
I know. but
On
it's
my
not
golf
a-
cart. Yeah.
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 Wicked.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And can't wait, like I said, to see what's in store.
Thank you.
right.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
yeah.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks
for
very
coming.
much.
Bye.
Let's go.
Listen to this episode on iTunes and Spotify. Make sure to drop by next week. And don't forget to subscribe.
Let's go.
It's time to give a shout out to our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Sentinel Security Plus. For all your premium security needs, visit SentinelSecurityPlus.com.
And The Substance Group for all your integrated marketing solutions. Visit TheSubstanceGroup.com.